Hi, Mr. Chertoff.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. Is it true your name means son of the devil in Russian?
I don't know.
I've looked it up. I don't know.
To look at the exhibit, and it really is a very moving exhibit. Touches all of us personally. One of the things that's important, though, is it's not just an exhibit which you passively absorb, but it is really part of a larger effort to educate and empower citizens so that they can be involved in protecting their own communities. And whether it's dealing with terrorism or natural disasters, I think one of the things we all learn is that our effectiveness in securing our communities depends upon individual effort by every member of the community. We've had some good news in the counterterrorism front. Most recently, of course, the elimination of Osama bin Laden was a welcome arrival of justice for someone who was responsible for the worst atrocity in American history. And I want to pay tribute to everybody who was involved in that, from the president on down to the special operators who went in and did that job in such a magnificent way.
Been stopped by the body scanners.
I've been lucky over the last 10 years to have worked side by side with some unbelievably noble and heroic people, all of whom have contributed to the reduction of the threat as it originally was presented back in 2001. But the fact that the threat has changed does not mean that it's gone away. So much as I would like to tell you that the end of Al-Qaeda is in sight, what I predict for you is that we will see it continue to morph and continue to evolve. The tactics may change, the strategies may change, but it will be incumbent on us to evolve our own defensive and security strategies to meet these new threats.
Mr. Chertoff, the FBI never connected bin Laden.
Sit down and shut up.
They never provided.
Sit down and shut up.
Never, ever.
No one came to hear you. Shut up.
I'm leaving.
Shut up.
If we put aside,
FBI does not have evidence to connect bin Laden to 9/11. They don't have, even the FBI does not have evidence to convict bin Laden.
I think we're well past the point of denying that he was responsible for 9/11, just as I think we all really understand. We also really understand there was actually a landing on the moon. So Al-Qaeda remains as a threat. But I wish I could tell you that was the only threat. But what has been described at times as the A-team of terrorism is not actually Al-Qaeda, but it is Hezbollah. Hezbollah, as you know, is an Iranian-sponsored and backed terrorist organization which has struck against Americans and Israelis and others around the world for decades. And as we watch Iran and the tensions between Iran and other countries,
I haven't done anything wrong. He hit me. I am not refusing to leave, but he shouldn't have hit me.
But in our own hemisphere, will become an increasingly important element of our national security. Chavez in Venezuela, who has now opened up a direct airlift with Iran and created a channel for moving personnel and material from Iran into Venezuela in a way that doesn't give us much visibility. Apart from terrorist groups, apart from terrorist
security in the midst of the region, how bad terrorism is. Terrorism is not a real threat. Why is there no security in this event? We have top officials from around the country here, and there is zero security in this event. What is the threat of terrorism? Where is the real threat?
I would be incomplete in talking about what we face if I didn't discuss two other phenomena which I think touches very much here in our own country. One is transnational criminal groups. So I suggest that as we watch, particularly in our own backyard, We need to pay close attention to the development of these transnational criminal groups and where they might develop ideologically, as well as in terms of their capability, increased capability for violence. Finally, I want to talk just for a couple of minutes about cybersecurity.
Mr. Chertoff, less people have been killed from terrorism than bee stings. Less people have been killed by terrorism than bee stings. Why are we so scared of terrorism? Are you guys scared of bee stings? You guys going to be spending billions of dollars to protect you from bee stings? Do you really want to do that, folks? Do you really want to spend all that money on bee stings? Terrorism is not real. These talking heads are pushing lies.
The fact that the bee sting drop is being given somewhere else. Let me talk a little bit about cybersecurity. You've all been reading increasing reports about the kinds of cyber threats that we face. We now live in a world in which much of what operates in our electric grid, in our water, in our hospitals, in our banking system occurs online. And now we even face the danger, the possibility, and the risk that terrorists or nation states could decide to attack our industrial control systems and our operating systems in order to gain leverage in an international dispute. Again, this is not a fantasy. And again, it's going to involve every single one of us, because the assets and the networks that are at risk are not largely owned by the government.
Mr. Chertoff, the American people will no longer tolerate the loss of our inalienable rights.
Finally,
our rights were paid for in American blood, and they belong to us. We're not going anywhere.
Isn't free speech wonderful?
All of you sworn oath to the Constitution ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Your country is dying right now. Your republic is dying right now. You all need to wake up right now. You're going to lose this country. You're going to lose what we have here. You're going to lose individual liberty.
Were you afraid in there without any body scanners at the door, Mr. Chertoff? Were you? I can imagine all these crazy people screaming at you.
Are you guys jaywalking? You guys are all jaywalking right now. My belly's full. Come on! You guys would go well together. Make a good couple, right, bro?
Mr. Chertoff, have you profited off of the body scanners personally? This is a sidewalk I can use, right?
It's part of the Denver Art Museum.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Mizell. How are you doing? Good. Are you proud with the new cell? As am I. All right. Same to you.